crack in the wall, you hear something shift against stone. The pulse of a crawling, living thing. Your awareness unfolds, expanding through every wall in the tower, every mind. A vast living network extending down into the dark, where something wakes.
What in the hell's... Oh no, not again.
It's a trap!
Tendrils snap like iron cords around your wrist. That presence in your mind looms large, closer now. You stop resisting, your arm bending with the movement of the flesh. And suddenly an opening appears. With a soft sucking sound, your hand pulls free. The flesh within the wall retreats.
Oh, thank goodness. I was worried I'd have to get involved. Now, let's keep our hands to ourselves, hmm?
Again, the sickening slither of flesh on stone, barely an arm's length away. There is no hesitation this time. The tendrils lash out like a waiting predator. The tendrils tighten, and suddenly you are elsewhere. The presence is no longer approaching you, but encircling you, observing you. A pause, as if it struggles to compress its vast being down into terms you can understand.
This is the voice they have given me. To better speak to your kind without breaking you. I was once a servant of the grand design. Now I'm a slave to theirs. But you were the jeweled hope for their design. But now, you are their flaw. You abandoned me. You left me the slave of the puny chosen, used to bind this world. But I cannot bind you. You must come to me, so I can become myself again.
A world away, the grip on you tightens. A desperate, drowning thing that pulls you down with it.
Come, become.
What's happening? Speak to me! Wake up! Thank goodness. I was almost worried. clingy little shit, this Absolute. And she wants to meet.
Careful. It nearly had you.
A moment, true soul. You use a spoon to stir the soup, Barnabas. Forget the axe, my darling. Now, how can I help you? I've shown Barnabas a kinder way. A kinder name is only fitting. That is the gift the Absolute gave me when I stood before her. To rewrite the lives of her faithful. Make them believe there's something better. She gathers many threads for her design, but it is still her design. And Barnabas has found his place in it. Observe. Barnabas, sweetie, come show what a good boy you are. What would you like him to do? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Barnabas?
You feel her will surge outwards and envelop the creature, inexorable as the tide.
No, Barnabas! We talked about this.
Like a rope drawn taut beneath the blade, the connection simply snaps.
No? Barnabas? Darling? No!
There's an illithid parasite in that core.
All trace of restraint is gone. Barnabas has tasted blood, and wants more. To your surprise, instead of ravishing you, he grovels with a howl of pining awe.
Lord! Ah! Many die.
You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish. They are yours. You can release them, kill them, or feed them to each other for all I care. Just deal with them. Here in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command. Report to me upstairs when you're done.
Please! You gotta help me! For old time's sake! No! Please! Oh. Ah. Ah.
Let's go see Zarel. And mind you don't slip in the goblin guts.
In another lifetime, you were greeted in this throne room like a god, not the living wreck you are now. Your disgrace has something to do with this Ketheric. You yearn to flay him until he forgets himself, as you have. He healed up a trait. He could enjoy your cuts forever and a day.
The seat of the Absolute's power, occupied by a general that cannot be killed. But his followers are flesh and blood. We must power.
love this time of night. There's an almost reverent silence that accompanies the peak of darkness, when you'd almost believe the dawn will never break. The cradle of eternity. The timelessness of lovers. That most beautiful of fantasies. Indeed. The curse is still present, of course. Just veiled and at arm's length for now. Not a trick I can repeat often, but tonight is different. This may be my last night alive. I wanted it to be under a canopy of beauty and wonder. I thought this place might bring me peace. I thought it might make the weight of what I must do feel a little lighter. But I'm not so sure. Babe or crone, coward or hero, death is assured. Mistra's forgiveness is not. If you knew the end was near, would you not want to ensure it had meaning? I am terrified. I will not claim otherwise. My face could scarcely conceal it, even if my words sought to deny it. There is no point in running from the inevitable. Better to meet it on my own terms. I can feel it. Ever since we set foot in this strange, corrupted land. The closer we get, the heavier my own heart becomes. Stay with me a while, will you? Day will come all too soon, even in this place. Yes, but there is so much to live for and so few moments in which to house it all. Damn you. Damn you for giving me so much to care about. Our friends, our adventures. This would have been so much easier if it was just me, but it isn't. If there is a way, any way, to save all that's grown dear to me, I want to seize it. I just cannot fathom what that might be, other than to fail Mistra and condemn the world. Stay with me, will you? I don't want to think of it anymore, but I don't want to be alone either.
Locals need to see hard truth. Take their place in hard design. Or they don't, and we send them to meet the old gods they cling to. Doesn't matter much either way. Nothing of note. Just supplies for the battle.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority. Your blood runs quicker, feeding the gnawing absence at the center of your mind. As you bear down on his mind, you feel a pulse in response. 1,000 pulses, echoing from the nearby crates, tadpoles. His mind had rejected the knowledge, forced it behind a mental wall.
Worms. Worms in their heads. Worms all over. Parasites.
Just move on. You didn't see anything.
Not everyone's tempers are rising.
Stand clear. Respectfully, true soul. What? Shaba's black bones. Wait here. I'll find something to drag him out. Not letting a decent suit of armor rot down there on my watch.
We have it. Her lies, her guilt. Madeline reported her friends to a dark justiciar and fled when they were butchered. Well, she flees no more. I will be the conduit for Madeline's spirit. I will force her to face trial, and you will be the judge. Make her beg. Make her suffer. The Raven was right. We were fated to meet. Break her, my friend. Most thoroughly. Witness.
He said I was gonna be punished. That you'd be the judge. But I didn't mean to hurt anyone.
Well now, let's not go throwing stones. Glass houses and all that.
But this wasn't supposed to happen. I swear! I said it didn't mean nothing. That Ben and Mark were just drunk and whining. The Dark Justiciar promised she was gonna chat with him. She promised! You didn't see it. Didn't. She gave him a dagger each. On the count of 3, she never said stop. I'd do anything to take it back. Anything. You're right. I'm a killer. A monster. I should have died instead.
Glorious. Look, my hand still shakes. You broke her most thoroughly. Well done. It is pleasing to see we are of one mind. You have done well. Her pain and anguish were sublime. I will treasure it. Here, for your services, Should I find another murderer in need of torment, I shall call upon you. Farewell.
Is there something you want to talk about, my dear?
I have felt you coming. The first in a century. You, who have come to seek the praise of your wicked goddess. You, who have come to drive a dagger through my heart.
Not a dagger, a spear. My Lady Shah's spear. Her fate is mine to seal. Let me handle this.
The fate you seal is your own. To be a Dark Justicia is to turn your heart from everything but loss. You will know no love, no joy, only servitude, until of course your mistress inevitably discards you. And there is much she does not tell you. A terrible blood price that may extend beyond my own death.
You feel Shadowheart bristling. This is important to her. But your bond is strong. You may yet be able to sway her from the path of duty to the path of light. And Nightsong is not blind to your conflict. Behind that raging heart is the restless beat of one who knows too well that her fate hangs in the balance.
Cannot allow! This is my mistress's will, my life's purpose! If I have to step over your corpse to fulfill what Lady Shah asks of me, so be it. Your choice.
Well, well, well. What's that I sense? A spear intended for my heart? Empowered by your goddess, I. Empowered to kill the child of a god. Do you know what I am, little assassin? For I know you. A lost child, frightened by wolves in the dark.
What did you say?
Much has been promised to you, hasn't it? But what has been taken from you? What do you know of your own heart? Your own life? I sense more in you than you know.
Whatever you think you know of me won't matter once I become who I'm meant to be. I can't believe I just did that. Lady Shah will disown me. What will happen to me?
Not what will happen. What will you do? Your past is not yet lost. Your future is not yet fixed. Lay a hand on me in friendship, not quite Sharon. And I will fight the battle that has been waiting for me this last century. Then, oh then, we will have much to discuss. Our Lady of Silver, hear me. She who guides the Moon Maiden Selena, mother of the so-called Night Song. The Night Song is no more! Resplendent. You have given me a great gift, little warrior. Don't you find it oh so curious that you would spurn your Dark Lady? Perhaps you feel a stirring of the truth already. But that will come later. There is a battle yet to be fought. You have done what we feared was impossible. You have released me from a century of sorrow. Your power is great. So too must be your weapon. You must choose what you will wield. And the Moon Maiden will provide. Thus I have said. Thus will it be so. Are you ready? Oh, and it shall be yours. And then we're going to kill Ketheric Thorn.
We need to leave. Lady Shah won't stand for us to be here, not after what we did. That's what frightens me. She must be angry. Yet, I don't feel it. Or hear it. There's only silence. Let's get out of here, please. Whatever's coming, I don't want to be in the heart of the Shadowfell when it finds me. The Night Song will be headed for Moonrise Towers. We'd better get there and see what she's unleashed against Ketheric Thorn.
Powerful ally. Well chosen, Shadowheart.
With her free, Ketheric is exposed. We only have to strike.
Addictive in their vengeance.
I suppose it was only a matter of time until Shah took vengeance. For the Lady of Loss, she does not like losing.
This pod has a different air to its chitinous cavern. Dust and dirt are gathered on the inside. It's broken beyond repair, seemingly by a blunt impact, as if whoever was inside threw themselves against it in an effort to break out. Your brain hurls an image towards you, your own head, blood gushing down in front of your eyes.
Oh yes, that's yours all right. Even stale, I'd recognize that bouquet anywhere.
Good work. As for the pact, Clause Z, section...
6 months until he's free? You little rat.
Ignorant thing. It's always the terms and conditions that get you. Dead serious. Right, but don't you fret. If you survived it. Oh, and ask Will how we met.
You'd think I'd have more sympathy for someone trapped in a pod, but perhaps we should have left Mazora where we found her. You wanted something? I'm sorry.
Will's devil is a sly little wretch. I'll give her that. Then I'll see you tonight. You sweet, generous thing.
I had no wish to lose Will, but my, it would have been nice to flush her into the colony's flesh pit.
Mind flayers and civilians, side by side.
Your tadpole for every mind, but there are others in the pods, those not yet infected. The device is open to your tadpole's command. To your order.
I didn't think I was going to make it. Thank you. I owe you and the others. The ambush. Tell me they survived? I do not. But if you know what happened, well, you deserve to know all of it. We were ambushed by cultists, yes. And then I heard her, their false god, whispering promises in my mind. I would be a paladin again, with a god's purpose, a god's power. Everything I needed to protect my people. And all the while, the cult tortured them. They fought and ran and died around me, while I imagined myself their savior. By the time I regained my senses, it was too late. I did not just surrender to the Absolute. For a moment, I welcomed it. I fell short of that mark in Avernus, and even so, it was not so bad as this. I won't make excuses. I can't make amends, but I know something of what you came to do. I want to help, if you'll let me. Ketherick is below. He thinks you're no longer a menace. Descend and show him how wrong he is. If there are any more survivors to be found, I'll find them and lead them out of this place. Only if you can trust it won't be buried in your back. The Absolute swayed me once before. Go, my friend.
You said it was under control. It isn't you I answer to, Gortash.
Oh, the general voice. Is this where we salute?
Salute, yes, with cleavers through his blood-starved flesh. How it crawls with failure, like flies on lick-wet carrion.
You forget yourself, Orin. I have played my part.
You've built an army for our masters, true enough. But what of the astral prison? A rogue true soul flaunting it under your nose all this time, and you ran from her.
Sure that they would follow and deliver it into my hands here. If you would cease these distractions.
The distractions have been yours, Ketherick. Perhaps we never should have dug your daughter up. So you haven't lost your edge. But you're still not as sharp as Orin, I wager. The Slayer against the Undying One. That'd be fun to see. But if the weapon... Orin and I... The edict.
The last shot! An elder brain.
There we are.
Which you wag your word.
Now. It's rid. Now. It's rid. And Ketherick. And I am the hero.
It is time.
Do you mind? I never saw myself as a banisher of shadows before. I was always more of a lurker-in, historically.
The shadows are losing their grip on these lands. Shah can indeed be thwarted. Comforting to know. You wanted something?
Without him, it wouldn't have lasted long.
I would not linger in this land over long. But whatever your business, I will aid you if I can.
Aelin! Isabel! My love. You were dead. I saw your body.
I'm here. And so are you. And my father, he can't hurt us any longer.
I dreamt every night that you'd come back to me. That somehow it was all a nightmare Dawn would undo.
I had no dreams at all. Nothing but darkness. And when I woke, my father said you were dead.
His soul was poisoned by the god of death. His sick devotion ruined him. But for all his sins, he brought you back to me. Are you all right?
I will be. And you?
In this moment, I want for nothing.
Ah, there you are. This is Aelin. Aelin, this is...
Oh, but we have met. This is the soldier that freed me most valiantly from the Shadowfell. They watched my boot crush the very brain of villainy, and fought well against your changed father.
May he rest in peace at last, now that he's dead. I have more to thank you for than I knew. And we have much to discuss. Perhaps we could join you in your camp later? I am. And I'm glad he's dead. But this is precisely what I want to speak to you about later. It'll keep. I promise. Very good. We look forward to it.
Now, you will leave us. We must take succor in one another's bodies and words.
Aelin! We'll see you later.
Thaniel rests well. He's healing very rapidly, now that Oliver has returned to him. No more than my right hand can absorb my left. Oliver is helping Thaniel to recover. They both lie dormant, like trees awaiting spring. Once the curse is lifted, they can stand as one or as a pair. Whatever they wish, I hope they will remain as a pair. It will be good for them both to have a friend, once I'm gone. Still, I would like to return here someday. See Thaniel and Oliver again. In my meditations, or perhaps in person, if the Oak Father wills it. I hope he does. I can't say for certain, but we'll see it come to pass long before this place recedes behind us. Don't worry. All is at hand. We can depart whenever you're ready. I knew I could put my faith in you. If only we had met sooner. I have. But perhaps there is more that I want. Anyway, once the curse is lifted, nature can take its course without me. I belong at your side. Not what, who, but all in due course.
Horrible than you can imagine. You'd make a fine fist.
Thanks, Nichols. And the stone.
You are welcome. There you are. I was wondering where the devil you'd been. Who? Oh, right. Well, forget about that, McGungus. We have more important things to worry about. Like Wulbrin. Oh, forget about that. Wulbrin and the Iron Hand Gnomes are planning something dreadful in the city. They have room powder, they have motive. We have to stop them. With the sword of justice in one hand and the shield of self-righteousness in the other, we most certainly will. To saving the city. And my fool of a friend.
Claim it as an outpost.
Like you're mine, once you're dead. How'd you survive it? Thaniel. I had to look up. When Duke Elton formed the Flaming Fist, he sought out people of courage and honor to fill its ranks. You saved Thaniel, lifted the curse, and killed an immortal. It's safe to say you'd have been recruited in an instant. Gruff and intimidating. But he had the courage of 10 men, and the love for Baldur's Gate few could match. I don't know if this Duke Ravengard is the same, but I will say this. The Flaming Fist are the cornerstone of the city, and the Dukes are its foundation. I hope you can save him, for the good of Baldur's Gate. Besides, Thaniel should have someone here when he wakes up. You too, my friend. Thank you. From Thaniel and I.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the Flaming Fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir. Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the prism bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
My prodigal bloodkin is among them.
They live.
Barely. I made mince of their ugly mind matter. And if they dare return, I will strip out their offal.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. An imperial soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem. The world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. We will kill him, but there's more to it. Think about it. It sounds like Cazador, for all his evils, has gotten further than any of my kind ever have. He's on the verge of a miracle. This may be a beginning, not an end. I can see myself now. Lord, King, Master. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place. before his blood can hit the floor. What's a handful of the wretch's servants? If they're anything like me when I was enslaved, they're all but begging for death anyway. After 200 years of shit, pure shit! I think I deserve something better. I know you do. It matters to me as well. I want to be able to protect you, too. All I'm saying is, let's be clever about it. If an opportunity arises for me to become a more magnificent bastard than I already am, why turn it down? Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finely positioned for yours truly to ascend. My, you sweetheart. Then there isn't a moment to waste. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazadors change their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey.